Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to part 34 of where I show all my vinyl albums, and today is going to be the Beach Boys and the Byrds, and after today's video there's only going to be 5 more videos left, and so these are the 5 videos and what will be in them. Okay, starting off with the Beach Boys, and the first one up is actually a compilation of very early material. I got this extremely cheap, and I'm talking pennies. It's got Farmer's Daughter on it, which I really like. Finders Keepers, Lana, Summertime Blues. You know, it is okay. It's on a cheap label. Well, it's American album as well. Right, the first album proper is Surfing Safari. This is I really like these really early Beach Boys albums. Although this is an 80s reissue and it doesn't have surfing on it for some reason. The album is short enough as it is, and I think they dropped 2 tracks. But it still has Surfing Safari, Country Fair, 10 Little Indians. I know they're a little bit daft really, but still I think it's a pretty good album. It's really enjoyable, as is Surfing USA. And this is the one with the title track, of course, from Farmer's Daughter, which is brilliant. Shutdown is on this as well. Finders Keepers, Lana. Yeah, it's decent. There are quite a few instrumentals in this. And then we have Surfer Girl, and this is a big step upwards, but I really love it. I love Catch a Wave, always have. Surfer Girl's brilliant as well. Little Disc Coupe. In My Room is beautiful ballad, and Hawaii, great track. And then Little Disc Coupe, which is, I can't understand it because Little Disc Coupe's on this as well. And you have Spirit of America, Shut Down again. So they seem to sort of regurgitate some of the songs and put them on new albums. Car Crazy Cutie, Cherry Coupe, 409. 409 is a good track. But they are very summery, they're very enjoyable. And this one is very good too. It's Shut Down Volume 2. And this is fun on it as well. Shut Down Part 2. Why Do Fools Fall in Love, which I'm not keen on. The Warmth of the Sun's really nice, and the fantastic Don't Worry Baby. All Summer Long with I Get Around on it. And you also have Wendy, which is a great track too. And Girls on the Beach, All Summer Long itself, Little Honda. Yeah, very enjoyable, especially for this time of year. The Beach Boys Christmas album, and yeah, this is okay. Little Saint Nick is by far the best track off this, but you get a mixture of Brian Wilson songs and traditional tracks, things like White Christmas, Blue Christmas, We Three Kings of Orient are. You know, it's decent. It's not one of my favourite Christmas albums, but I still enjoy it. Now this is a masterpiece for me. This is the Beach Boys Today. Side 1 is the uplifting tracks, and side 2 are the very reflective type tracks. I do prefer side 1. Do You Want to Dance? Love it. Good to My Baby, brilliant. Don't Hurt My Little Sister, I love. When I Grow Up to Be a Man, really good. Help Me Rhonda, which is the original version. I love both versions, but I prefer the single version, which will be in the next album. And Dance 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 is great. But of the reflective ones, Please Make Me Wonder, I'm So Young, She Knows Me Too Well, really good. And then we have Summer Days and Summer Nights, and this has got the single version of Help Me Rhonda on it, but also has The Girl from New York City, Amusement Parks USA, which is sort of similar to Country Fair, but it's a track that it's a bit of a throwaway, but I really do love it. Then I Kissed Her is a great version. Girl Don't Tell Me is great. California Girls, Let Them Run Wild. It's a good album. And then the Beach Boys Party, which is okay. It does have Barbara Ann on it, which is one of their very best singles. But yeah, a few dodgy Beatles covers like I Should Have Known Better and Tell Me Why. But still, it's good fun. And then Pet Sounds. Now I can understand why a lot of people don't actually like this, because this took me ages to get into, but it is a superb album. Wouldn't It Be Nice is brilliant. You Still Believe in Me is my favourite track off this. Sloop John B. Some people think it shouldn't be on this album. I think it should, because I absolutely adore it. That's Not Me is very good. God Only Knows, of course. and Don't Talk, Put Your Head on My Shoulder. And another one I really like is I'm Waiting for the Day. Very, very good album from 1966. Smiley Smile, and I think this is a really good album as well, although it is sort of a lot of bits and pieces cobbled together, but you do get Heroes and Villains and Good Vibrations. She's Grown Bald and Little Pad, I think, are really great fun. It's an enjoyable album. The Best of the Beach Boys, which is just basically a greatest hits type thing, 14 tracks on it. That was a huge seller, I believe, in the UK. Wild Honey, yeah, not a bad album again. Wild Honey, Aren't You Glad? Darling was the big hit off this. Here Comes the Night, it's a good album. Friends is another very good album. No big hits off this, I think. Friends is probably the most famous track off it. Wake the World is really good. Little Bird is a fantastic song. Annalie the Healer, very, very good, but very, very short album. I think it clocks under 30 minutes. This is Stacks of Tracks, and this is basically a lot of songs and they're like karaoke instrumental type things. I think I played it once. The Beach Boys 2020, and yeah, this is a very good album with Bluebirds Over the Mountain and Do It Again, and what's the other big one off this? I Can Hear Your Music. Cotton Fields, very enjoyable. And now we go into the 70s, and I have to say that my favourite Beach Boys is the 60s, not the 70s, so these start off pretty good and then they get, I think, very bland. This is Sunflower. It's a decent album. It's got Cotton Fields on it again. Now I don't know if it was in the American version, but it's on the British version of 2020, and it's on this, so another copy and paste. You also get Forever, Tears in the Morning. It's pretty good. And then you have Surf's Up with the great title track, Surf's Up. Don't Go Near the Water is very good. And Till I Die is excellent. I also like A Day in the Life of a Tree. Holland, and this has got Sail On Sailor that everybody seems to love. I just can't stand that song, I really can't. And the rest of it's not great. The California Saga off this is not bad, but the album it's not one of my favourites, put it that way. And this is So Tough, and this too is not one of my favourites, although it does have Marcella on it, Here She Comes. But yeah, these albums are okay. I just think they're terribly bland. And the one that gets slated a lot is 15 Big Ones. I think it's not too bad, to be honest, but I really do like their version of Rock and Roll Music. I think it's because my brother bought it as a single back in the day and I've always liked it, but the album's not brilliant, it's okay, pardon the pun. The Beach Boys, Love You, and I played this once, got this extremely cheap. It's alright, it's not brilliant. This is the MIU album, and I didn't like this one at all, and there's nothing off this that stands out to me. And then the Beach Boys LA Light album, and this is the one with Lady Linda on it, which uses the music from Handel, it's a Handel, no, Bach's She's You Joy of Man's Desiring. And funny enough, there's another song in this video that uses that as well, which we'll come to. But yeah, it's okay, it's nothing fantastic. And then we have Keeping the Summer Alive, and this is not much of an album either. Then the Beach Boys from 1985 or 86, and Boy George even writes a song on this, and it's terrible. Passing Friend is a song, but I do like the track Get You Back. It's not a great album though. And then the Beach Boys, That's Why God Made the Radio, and this is from about 2010 or so, and this is actually pretty good. It's better than most of those late 70s albums anyway. And then we have Live in London, and this is a reissue on Music for Pleasure, and this is a very, very enjoyable album. Beach Boys 20 Golden Greats, and this is the first Beach Boys I was ever exposed to. This is a #1 album from the mid 70s, and it's absolutely brilliant. 20 flawless tracks. And then this is the very best of the Beach Boys Volume 1 and Volume 2, so you get buy volume 1 you get volume 2 free, etc. And this actually charted quite well. I think this is from around 1983, so it's really an extended version of 20 Golden Greats. Brian Wilson and his album from 1988, and I think this is really good. And Jeff Lynne produces one song, I think it's Let It Shine, but my favourite track is a little track called Little Children, which I think is absolutely fantastic. The vocals are brilliant on it. And then a recent purchase, Brian Wilson presents Smile, and yeah, this is a good album. So we get on to the Byrds, and the first Byrds album up is Pre-Flight, and this is before Mr. Tambourine came out. Well, this album came out after, but these are recordings before Mr. Tambourine. It's got things like You Showed Me, She Has a Way, Boston, Here Without You, which got on the Mr. Tambourine album, the airport song. It's actually quite good. And then the debut album, Mr. Tambourine Man, and this is absolutely fantastic album with the title track, I Feel a Whole Lot Better, Spanish Harlem Incident, The Bells of Rimney, All I Really Want to Do, and Chimes of Freedom, Don't Doubt Yourself Babe. Really, really good album from '65. And this is nearly as good but not quite, and it's Turn Turn Turn. And this has got Turn Turn Turn, Set You Free This Time, Satisfied Mind, The Times They Are Changing. Now, one of the B-sides of, I'm not too sure which single it was She Don't Care About Time. Maybe it was an A-side, but it also includes that piece of Bach's Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, but it's not on this album, I'm afraid. Fifth Dimension, and this is the first without Gene Clark, although he gets a credit on 8 Miles High. Yeah, it's a good album. 5D's very good. Wild Mountain Town. Hey Joe is not a brilliant version. What's Happening is quite good, the Dave Crosby song. I'm not a huge Dave Crosby fan, but a couple of his tracks I really do like, and one of them is certainly not on this, Younger Than Yesterday, and the track Mind Gardens, which is absolutely dreadful. But this has got So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, My Back Pages is very good, Have You Seen Her Face is great, CTA 102, Time Between. It's a very, very strong album. The Byrds' greatest hits, about this in the 80s, and this is the first Byrds I ever had, and it's just a greatest hits of the first 4 albums. The Notorious Byrd Brothers, and this is the one without David Crosby. Well, on the cover he actually plays in the album. And you were Going Back, beautiful version of the Carole King song. Also you get Wasn't Born to Follow, another Coffin King song, which is great. Changes Now, Artificial Energy, Natural Harmony, Dolphin Smile, really strong album. And then Sweetheart of the Rodeo, which is very country, and I like this sometimes and sometimes I can't stand it. But You Ain't Going Nowhere is good. Pretty Boy Floyd is very good as well. Nothing Was Delivered. It's okay, but you have to be in the mood for it. I think this is a better album, Dr. Byrds and Mr. Hyde, and now the lineup had changed completely. Only Roger McGuinn remained. So this one is got This Wheel's on Fire, which I love. It's the Bob Dylan song, absolutely love it. Drugstore Truck Driving Man is a co-write with Graham Parsons, which is really good. Old Blue, great. Child of the Universe, Natural West, very, very good album. Ballad of Easy Rider, yeah, this is good as well. My favourite track off this is Tulsa County, but the title track is great. Gunga Din's not a bad track, and Jesus Is Just Alright is probably one of the most famous ones off it. And then we get the Byrds Untitled. Now this is, I don't think this is that great. It's a double album. One album is all live, with one side of that being 8 Miles High. It's just a big jam, and you get Positively 4th Street live. But Chestnut Mare is the big hit single off this. Never that keen on it. It's okay. Truck Stop Girl, All the Things Are All Things is the best song off this, and Yesterday's Train is not a bad track either. It's not my favourite. Bird Maniacs, and this one gets slated quite a bit, but I actually quite like this. Got Glory Glory on it, which is sort of very gospel-y. I Trust is a decent song. I want to grow up to be a politician is very good. Kathleen's song, yeah, I think it's quite a decent album. And then we have the Byrds Greatest Hits Volume 2. Not as good as the first one, but it's still decent enough. And then we have Farther Along. And this is not too bad either, with Tiffany Queen is a very good track. My favourite is, without a doubt, Lazy Waters. I absolutely love that song. And then you get things like Farther Away, Bugler. It's alright. This one here is probably the most disappointing album in history, because the original Byrds got back and there's no cohesion in this at all. It's like taking all the songs from their solo career and making a compilation album out of it. It does have some good songs on it, like Full Circle and Changing Heart are very good. But yeah, Cowgirl in the Sand, you really need to do the Neil Young song? I don't think so. And Born to Rock and Roll is not Roger McGuinn's best, even though Roger McGuinn was always my favourite from the Byrds. So we have Roger McGuinn's debut album, and yeah, this is quite good. I do like Roger McGuinn's voice, very Tom Petty, or I should say the other way around. But this has got I'm So Restless on it, Dragon, and Bag Full of Money, Heave Away, Melinda. It's okay. And then we get Carter Froze by Roger McGuinn, and I think this is a really good album, and this is the one with Take Me Away on it, Jolly Roger. My favourite track is the Bob Dylan song Up to Me, which I think was from the either Desire or the Blood in the Track sessions. But yeah, excellent album, beautiful cover. This is Roger McGuinn, Peace on You, and this is not a bad album either, with the title track Without You, Do What You Want To together. It's decent enough. Roger McGuinn's albums were never spectacular, they were just decent. Roger McGuinn and Band, and this one I've only played a couple of times and I don't really recognise much of it. Lisa's on this one, Born to Rock and Roll's on this. Yeah, it's okay. I think that Born to Rock and Roll version is better than the Byrds version. This here is like a radio show, and it was, I think, McGuinn promoting his one of those albums. I can't remember which one it actually was, but you know, it was an interesting listen. It was given as a freebie whenever I made an order in Discogs. Okay, Roger McGuinn, Thunderbird, and yeah, this is one where he does his version of American Girl on it, which I think is very good. All Night Long is good. Golden Loon, decent enough album. McGuinn, Clark and Hillman, and another disappointing album, because you've got basically my three favourite songwriters of the Byrds, and Long Time, Little Mama, Surrender to Me. It's alright, it's not that brilliant. McGuinn and Hillman, and I just don't rate this at all, and there's nothing off this that really stands out to me. And with two more left, and this is Roger McGuinn and Chris Hillman featuring Jim Clark, City, and this is absolutely dire, really rubbish album. And to finish with, we have Roger McGuinn and Back from Rio, and this is a very good album. This is probably up there with Carter Froze anyway, maybe better, and it is from the late 80s, and it does have Tom Petty all over it. Car Phone is very good, Somebody to Love, or Someone to Love, King of the Hill, The Time Has Come, You Bow Down, the Elvis Costello song. Yeah, very good album. Okay, so that was my Beach Boys and Byrds collection. The next one will be Bob Dylan and Simon and Garfunkel and solo. So that's me for now. All the best now. Bye bye.